also asked not to leave the country with a surety of 220,000 also has been asked by the Hanamkonda court. So now we'll have to wait and watch how the further developments take place, because tomorrow is the big day for BJP as well, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be here inaugurating Vande Bharat train, and also he will be addressing a public meeting. So definitely the face-off between the BJP and the BRS escalates time and again over the paper leak issue. But as of now, when we talk right now, Bandi Sanjay has been released from Karimnagar jail after he was granted bail from the Hanamkonda court. And also at the same time, Nupur, the BJP council had also filed an quash petition in the High Court. So that will be coming up on Monday. Because the matter is now posted for Monday. So quash petition against the remand copy will be heard on Monday. But however, now we are seeing that Bandi Sanjay is released from jail, Karimnagar jail, and in some time from now, he will be also arriving at Hyderabad party office.
All right. So as Neri is pointing out, of course, this is something that is likely essentially to escalate in terms of the tensions between the BRS and the BJP. Now, Aneri, what are you hearing in terms of what is the next course of action for the BJP? Of course, on the one side, Bandi Sanjay will have to face the legal consequences of what he's been accused of. But on the other side, is this likely essentially to increase tensions between the BRS and the BJP in the state of Telangana, which already have been at a high?
That's right, Nupur, because let me remind you, there are state assembly elections which will be happening this year. And that one of the main reasons we are seeing such high political drama unfolding here in the state of Telangana, let it be from the TSPSC paper leak issue to the SSC paper leak issue, which has been going on since last many days here. Opposition parties, including the BJP, Congress and YSRTP, other parties also have been demanding that there should be a CBI probe into this matter, but into the TSPSC paper leak issue. However, after which we saw that there was a paper leak of SSC examination, and now we are seeing that two times both the first and second paper of SSC exam were leaked, and now we are seeing that Bandi Sanjay, who was arrested in the second exam paper leak, he was mentioned as accused number 1 in whole of this case. However, we are seeing that after all of the after the arrest of Bandi Sanjay, and now we are seeing that how Bandi Sanjay's legal team had moved a bail petition. There was a quash petition also which was filed in the High Court. So now Bandi Sanjay has been granted bail with few of the conditions, like he cannot move or travel out of the country, and he has to also cooperate with the investigation as and when. However, we are seeing that right now, after he's got bail, he's released from Karimnagar jail. But as you rightly pointed out, there has been high political face-off which has been going on between the BJP and the BRS here in the state of Telangana. Let it be in connection with any of the issues, because BJP is in the opposition, and also at the same time, BJP has been time and again questioning the state government over various issues. And also when we talk about the BRS questions the central government over not fulfilling the promises which are given by the center to the state of Telangana. They haven't given any sort of schemes or any sort of institutions, and other such issues are being picked up by the BRS government, and they have been hitting out at the central government. But we see that the face-off between the BJP and the BRS escalates, but this will have to wait for further developments into this matter, because we are seeing that this year end there will be state assembly elections, and so how this goes on also remains to be seen.
All right, Aneri, of course, bringing us all the details from Hyderabad on this. Thank you for the moment for joining us. So as Aneri has been taking us through the latest developments, we are now learning that Bandi Sanjay has been released from prison. Now, tensions continue to simmer in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum as hundreds of protesters took to the streets against military coup in the country. Here's more.
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets of Sudan's capital as talks with the country's military rulers to bring in civilian government hit a roadblock. Watch how the security forces met the demonstrations in Khartoum with the tear gas and stun grenades. Protesters have rejected any settlement involving Sudan's military leaders following the 2021 coup. The protest comes a day after the scheduled inking of final settlement between the military and the pro-democracy forces was postponed for the second time. The military and a number of pro-democracy groups have pledged last December to usher back in transitional civilian government. But with the talks stalled, tensions continue to run in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum. Agency report, Republic TV.
And coming up next, battle for Karnataka heats up. Bomai and team are in the national capital today. And amid spike in COVID-19 cases, the health minister will be chairing a key review meeting.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
How do you see Israel helping India in combating the water crisis?
It's a major problem here in India and we have the solutions. So we are trying to work together, bringing the information, bring the technologies, bringing the excellent centers that we have here in India. And I know Prime Minister Modi deals with that a lot, and he was successful to bring dozens and dozens of millions to accessibility to water. And this is a great success. And I would like us to work more closely on that.
In regard with the paper leak issue, we have been seeing how there has been two different FIRs, one being in the Karimnagar jurisdiction and the another FIR which was filed is under Warangal jurisdiction. The legal cell of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Bandi Sanjay's team says that the manner in which Bandi Sanjay was arrested was not right and that is a violation of the Supreme Court guidelines. On that lines, there was a quash petition which was filed in the High Court and there's a bail petition which is filed in Warangal Court. So we'll have to wait and watch for further developments.
Well, the jailed former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, has written to the Prime Minister raising questions on his education. The letter that is addressed to the Prime Minister talks about his education, and in that letter we understand that Manish Sisodia has said that for the progress of India it is necessary to have an educated Prime Minister. Now do remember that this comes at the back of these protests that we have seen, or rather posters that we have seen go up across the national capital as well as other state capitals, where the Aam Aadmi Party has questioned the educational qualifications of the Prime Minister. Posters of the Prime Minister's educational qualifications in fact had gone up in the national capital, right outside the Aam Aadmi Party's office. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, of course, are located right across each other. So those pictures, those posters went up there. Thereafter, they were taken down. But one of the attacks of the Aam Aadmi Party on the BJP has been over the Prime Minister's educational qualifications. The Aam Aadmi Party says that his degree is bogus and that he needs to answer questions that are being raised. Now, Manish Sisodia, we are told, has written to the Prime Minister again, and in that letter, of course, he has said that for the progress of India, it is necessary to have an educated Prime Minister. Now, while some opposition parties, of course, had joined this sort of questioning that has been done by the Aam Aadmi Party. There were others who felt that the Prime Minister, had led the country for close to 10 years, and this sort of unnecessary scandal is something that is in fact very juvenile, because of the fact that nobody in the world in a democracy asks essentially for educational qualifications. Let's go across to Himakshi. Himakshi, give us more details of what he said. We are told that he wrote a letter to the Prime Minister. If you have those, the pictures of that letter, just take us through it.
Yes, we have learned that Manish Sisodia has written a letter for PM Modi, and he has written in Hindi, and I'm reading the letter. आज हम 21वीं सदी में जी रहे हैं. दुनिया भर में विज्ञान और टेक्नोलॉजी में हर रोज़ नई तरक्की हो रही है. सारी दुनिया आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात कर रही है. ऐसे में जो प्रधानमंत्री जी को ये कहते हुए सुनते हैं कि गंदे नाले में पाइप डालकर उसकी गंदी गैस से चाय या खाना बनाया जा सकता है, तो मेरा दिल बैठ जाता है. एंड क्या नाली की गंदी गैस से चाय या खाना बनाया जा सकता है? नहीं. जब प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं कि बादलों के पीछे उड़ते जहाज़ को रेडार नहीं पकड़ सकता है, तो पूरी दुनिया के लोगों में वो हास्य के पात्र बनते हैं. स्कूलों और कॉलेजों में पढ़ने वाले बच्चे उनका मजाक बनाते हैं. उनके इस तरीके के बयान देश के लिए बेहद खतरनाक हैं. इसके कई नुकसान हैं, जैसे कि पूरी दुनिया को पता चल जाता है कि भारत के प्रधानमंत्री कितने कम पढ़े लिखे हैं और उन्हें विज्ञान की बुनियादी जानकारी तक नहीं है. दूसरे देशों के अध्यक्ष जब प्रधानमंत्री जी से गले मिलते हैं तो एक basically he is questioning the PM's education qualification, and he's saying he's raising serious questions against his education qualification.
All right, so Himakshi, of course, was taking us through the contents of this letter that have been written by Manish Sisodia. Manish Sisodia over there writing to the Prime Minister. We just showed you the contents of that letter, essentially questioning his educational policies and also questioning some of the comments that he has made in the past. Himakshi joining us from Mumbai's Newspit. Thank you. And coming up next, the battle for Karnataka is heating up. Baswaraj Bommai and his team are in the national capital today. And amidst a spike in COVID-19 cases, the health minister will be chairing a key review meeting.
When we see that the masterminds, the plotters of this attack are still unpunished, they are still roaming free, what can India and Israel do together to ensure that the plotters, the mastermind of this attack are punished?
Everyone that took part of the terror attacks pays the price, a very heavy price. So we are still waiting for those who committed, those who sent, those who operated those terror attacks to be brought to justice. And indeed, we need to bring very serious pressure from all the world, from all the free world who stands against terrorism.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है.
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज.
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court. dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you, without the system approving it.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, India's biggest news event is back. The third edition of Republic Summit will be held in the national capital this month. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and transformation in India will be on Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for that. Will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. We begin first with the top headlines at 10 a.m.
It was a purely foreign funded entire activities which led to the protest, unfortunate police firing.
Tamil Nadu governor makes a big claim, alleges anti-Sterlite protests funded by foreign hands. DMK hits out, questions Tamil Nadu governor, says show proof to prove claims. In dock for SEC paper leak, Bandi Sanjay gets bail, walks out of jail. Big BJP versus BRS face-off now erupts. Battle for Karnataka heats up, Bommai and team in the national capital today. Amid spike in COVID-19 cases, Health Minister to chair key review meet shortly. Showdown over Macron's pension bill that continues. Protests take a violent turn in France. And we begin first with the latest that we are getting on Bandi Sanjay case. The Telangana BJP chief has now been released from the Karimnagar jail in the state of Telangana. Remember, he's been granted granted conditional bail by the court on Thursday.
ముఖ్యమంత్రి కుటుంబం మీరు కుట్రదారులు ప్రమాణం చేయండి మీకు దమ్ముంటే మీ నిజాయితీ పట్ల సిట్టు చేస్తూ విచారణ జరపండి ఆ సిపి ఏం మాట్లాడారు ఆయనకే తెలియదు exam
And if Chief Minister and his son, that is KCR, if they have guts, then why don't you come take a promise, take a pledge on the SSC paper leak issue?
వాటర్ క్యాన్ తీసి కొట్టిరండి కింద వాటర్ క్యాన్ అంగడంగా చేశారని ఇట్లా ఇది ఏమంటారంటే ఏ రాష్ట్ర అధ్యక్షుడు ఒక పార్లమెంట్ సభ్యుని చేస్తే కార్యకర్తలు భయపడటం కాదు మా కార్యకర్తలకు పార్టీ కోసం సిద్ధాంతం కోసం ప్రాణత్యాగం
we will work for the party, we will work for the people.
కొంతమందేమో ఆ డ్యూటీలో నక్సలైట్ ఎదిరించి టెర్రరిస్ట్ ఎదిరించి ప్రాణత్యాగం చేసిన అమరులు మర్చిపోయారు వాళ్ళు పాపం మేము గుర్తుంచుకుంటాం అమరవీరులను
they have forgotten, new policemen have forgotten their duties, but we will work for the people, we will work for the party.
మాకు మా కార్యకర్తలు మా బలిదానమైన మా కార్యకర్తల స్ఫూర్తి మాకు మేము జెండా కోసం పనిచేస్తాం కాశ్యప్ జెండా కోసం పనిచేస్తాం కమలపు వికాసం కోసం పనిచేస్తాం సిద్ధాంతం కోసం పనిచేస్తాం
we work for the party, we work for the flag of the nation, we work for the development of the state and also for the party's development.
అది అద్భుత సన్నివేశాన్ని ఇప్పుడు ఈ రాచరిక పాలన అందిస్తున్నటువంటి ఈ కుటుంబానికి వాళ్ళ కొమ్ము కాస్తున్న కొంతమంది పోలీసులు కలిసి శుభాకాంక్షలు. ధన్యవాదాలు. సిగ్గుంది ఆడవాళ్ళకైనా సింగరేణిలో 51% share ఎవరిది? వాట్ ఎవరిది?
The Singaneri colonies where KCR has called for a protest now, Bandi Sanjay says that the 51% share, who has the 51% share in the Singaneri colonies?
రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం చేయాలి. కానీ కేంద్రం ప్రైవేటీకరణ
State government has to work on it.
వాళ్ళు కేంద్రం పేరు చెప్పి ప్రైవేటీకరణ చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నారు. 51% వాటా ఉన్నోని కాదని 49% వాటా ఉన్నోడు ప్రైవేటీకరణ చేయొచ్చా? ప్రియతమ దేశ ప్రజానే ఇదే రామగుండం మీటింగ్ వచ్చి క్లారిటీ ఇచ్చేసిండు. కేసీఆర్ లెక్క అబద్ధమాడే వ్యక్తి మోడీ గారు కాదు. 51%
It's not Prime Minister who talks anything, but it's the state government leaders.
ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నది. ఆ కుట్రలను భారతీయ జనతా పార్టీ బద్దలు కొడుతుంది. కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఎట్టి బస్సులో రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఏదో కుట్రలతో సింగరేణి ప్రైవేటీకరణ చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నది. దాన్ని ఎట్టి బస్సులు అడ్డుకుంటాం. సింగరేణి నుంచి తీసుకున్న పైసలు ఫస్ట్ కట్టు. సింగరేణి క్యారమని పట్టించుకో.
First you have to do the payments of Singaneri colonies, which is not yet done.
కూర్చోసుకుంటా ఉపరికేస్తున్నాయి. కూర్చోసుకుంటాను ఏడవే. సింగరేణి అనేది ఈ ప్రభుత్వానికి బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీకి ఒక 80 ఏళ్లకే మారింది. సింగరేణి పైసలు మొత్తం దోసుకుంటూ కేసీఆర్ కుటుంబం. దాని మీద ఫస్ట్ మాట్లాడు. రేపు మోడీ గారు వస్తుందని చెప్పి మళ్ళీ ఏదో ఎన్నిక దృష్టి పెట్టుకుని మళ్ళా సింగరేణి కార్మికులు అందరూ తెలుసు. వాస్తవ విషయం తెలుసు. వాళ్ళకి జరుగుతున్న అన్యాయం వాళ్ళకి తెలుసు. ఈ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం కేసీఆర్ కుటుంబం చేస్తున్న కుట్ర చేస్తున్న బిడ్డ వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు కొడుకుపోతాడు. పోయినసారి బిడ్డ వచ్చింది.
Everyone knows what the state government is doing, what the daughter of CM KCR and what the son of CM KCR are doing.
అంటే సంవత్సరం ఒకసారి వీళ్ళు వాటర్లు పంచుకుంటారు. కేసీఆర్ కుటుంబం సింగరేణి విషయంలో బిడ్డ పోయి అల్లుడు వచ్చాయి, కొడుకు వచ్చాయి, కొడుకు పోయి అల్లుడు వస్తారు. రేపు సింగరేణి కేసీఆర్ కుటుంబం ఏటీఎం లెక్క మారింది. దాన్ని ఎట్టుబడి అడ్డుకుంటాం కూడా దాన్ని.
Coming in from Bandi Sanjay, the Telangana BJP chief, after he was granted conditional bail by the court on Thursday. Remember, he's been asked to seek a permission before he decides to leave the country. He was granted that bail after he gave that surety bond of 20,000 rupees as well. Let's go across to Aneri, if she's live with us. Aneri, if you can take us to what exactly did Bandi Sanjay say after being released from the Karimnagar jail and the kind of defense being given by him in the SSC leak allegations being made against?
Well, that's right, Samisha. We have been seeing that after almost 8 hours of argument which went on in the Hanamkonda court yesterday, we see that Bandi Sanjay was granted bail with few of the conditions, such as he cannot leave the country, he has to cooperate with the investigation into the SSC paper leak road, and also he had to give a surety bond of 20,000 rupees. But after all of this, we see that Bandi Sanjay is now released from the Karimnagar jail, and also at the same time, after he came out, he spoke to the media, where also once again he is all trading guns on the ruling government here in the state of Telangana over this SSC paper leak issue, where he points out that why, if it is so, then why don't the state government take a proper initiative, proper action? And also at the same time, Samiksha, not to forget the TSPSC paper leak issue, which also was going on in the state, after which we saw that there was a massive war of words between the BJP BRS, because even KT Rama Rao had also hit it out at the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay back then, and also there was an SIT team which was set up for the investigation into the TSPSC paper leak road. And now we see that all of this, after coming out of jail, Bandi Sanjay further went on to state that all of this is a conspiracy by the state government. If it is so, then why don't they come up with a proper investigation into all of this matter. So definitely the face-off between the BJP and the BRS has been escalating time and again, let it be over any sort of issue. But now when we talk about the paper leak issue, the opposition parties have now been demanding that there should be a probe, a thorough probe into this matter. And now we also see that Bandi Sanjay, who is granted bail, this comes just ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit tomorrow to Telangana, where Prime Minister will be inaugurating Vande Bharat train and other foundation works will be laid by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he will also be addressing a public meeting here in Hyderabad. So definitely this has been one big important development when we talk about Bandi Sanjay's arrest in the last few days, how things have been transpiring from the time Bandi Sanjay was arrested. Later he was produced before the magistrate in Hanamkonda and he was sent to 14 days of judicial custody. However, now he is granted bail.
Also, Aneri, tell us what exactly can we expect on Monday, because we understand that the matter would come up in the Telangana court on Monday as well in this case against Bandi Sanjay.
That's right, Samiksha. As the BJP council had filed two different applications, two different petitions, one in Hanamkonda court, that was the bail petition, which Bandi Sanjay has already got bail, and another petition which was filed in the Telangana High Court by the BJP council was the quash petition against the remand copy. Because remember, Samiksha, Bandi Sanjay, the BJP state president, is named as accused number 1 in the SSC paper leak road. He is one of the main accused and he is said to be the conspirator over all of this SSC paper leak, and that is why now the BJP council has also filed a quash petition in the High Court, which will be heard on Monday. So that also will be very important because as Bandi Sanjay is accused number 1 into this matter, how things will transpire also remains to be seen, because yesterday when there was a hearing for the quash petition, the High Court had also sent notices, and also at the same time we see that on the other hand, there was a bail petition which was filed in Hanamkonda court, and after almost 8 hours of long arguments, Bandi Sanjay was granted bail. But yes, on Monday, we'll have to wait for the quash petition hearing, which would be taking place around 3:30 p.m. is what we are being told on Monday. So quash petition against the remand copy will be heard on Monday in the Telangana High Court.
Aneri, just stay with us, and once again for our viewers also, if you can talk to us about the political blame game that has erupted over Bandi Sanjay's arrest, like you were mentioning earlier, with the BJP saying that this is an unlawful arrest of Bandi Sanjay which happened on Wednesday.
Well, Samiksha, we have been seeing that how BJP State President Bandi Sanjay, who was in Karimnagar at his residence, was arrested by the police officials, where he had also questioned the officials in regard with the warrant. Where is the warrant? However, the police officials had told that it's a preventive custody, and from Karimnagar he was all the way brought to Warangal. He spent whole night in the police station, after which later on Wednesday evening he was produced before the magistrate. As being a holiday, he was produced at the magistrate's residence, and thereafter he was mentioned as accused number 1 in the remand copy of the SSC paper leak issue, because there are two different FIRs.
Aneri, just requesting you to hold your thoughts for a moment. We have Rachna Reddy of the BJP joining us. Rachna Reddy, the question I wanted to ask you about is what do you have to say about the manner in which Bandi Sanjay was arrested on Wednesday? We saw those visuals in which he was not even given an answer, an explanation as to on what grounds was he exactly picked up from his residence by the Telangana police.
Yes. Yes. Hello, ma'am. So here is the thing, where yesterday, after a long, arduous bail hearing, which went on for around 8 hours, all of these aspects were discussed. The first aspect was that the basic prerequisite, that is a 41A notice, which was absolutely supposed to have been issued to him, and his explanation sought was not given at all, and he was illegally, I would use the word kidnapped. He was illegally kidnapped, arrested and detained. And this went on for a good 12 to 13 hours. And when the Bharatiya Janata Party moved the habeas corpus petition in the Honorable High Court, that is when a shady FIR was filed and a remand report that is absolutely ridiculous in the sense sections used were criminal trespass, cheating, under the Hal Practices Act, etc. And none of these provisions, any averment was made as to Bandi Sanjay Released involvement. He was forcefully implicated under the instructions of the state government as A1.
Yes.
Without absolutely
Rachna, just requesting you to hold your thought for a moment. Let's take a word from the BRS leader, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, also joining us. Mr. Reddy, I want to know, would you justify the kind of arrest of Bandi Sanjay that happened? Because we saw those visuals, we saw what he had to say when he was picked up from his residence. He was not even given an explanation as to on what grounds he was being arrested, being detained by the Telangana police from his residence.
The Telangana police has followed the due procedure. He was taken into a preventive custody first. Then the Warangal police arrested him. They established the facts. They have presented him before the court. Court has sent him to remand. Then they applied for a bail. The bail has been given. And BJP leaders should understand that this is not an acquittal. It's only a bail. And we as BRS party, we respect the judiciary. We respect the law of the land. As the normal rule, the bail is the rule and bail is an exception, which is exactly opposite to BJP in the center. But it is not there. It is not an acquittal, and BJP today is thinking that a conspirator is released, as a freedom fighter is released. They can stoop to any law. A conspiracy has to leak out the paper, putting the 5 lakh SSC students' life at stake. And this is the way they work. They have shown the world. They can go to any law. They can stoop down to any law for achieving their political goals. And if this is the way, and they're celebrating the release of a conspirator, an A1, who is booked on a 120D, a conspirator.
But Mr. Reddy, do you think a person does not deserve an answer even if he's being detained? Does he not deserve an answer, an explanation? Why is he being picked up from his house at an odd hour?
We are not like union government. Definitely, the police has given him enough explanation. I think he was given 151 CRPC. They have taken him preventive custody while he was traveling from Hyderabad to Karimnagar. Also, there was a tense situation in between. Few irritated students, parents, and they tried to stop him, to protest him. The police has taken him into preventive custody. Later on the subsequent developments, he was arrested based on the allegations as well the prima facie facts by the police. You want police not to act on them? I think BJP has a separate IPC in this country.
Okay, Mr. Reddy, stay with us. Let's take your same point across to Rachna, also of the BJP, who continues to be with us. Rachna, Mr. Reddy of the BRS says that all due procedures were followed while Bandi Sanjay was being detained, and that there is strong evidence against him in connection with the SSC paper leak case.
Absolutely not. Mr. Rahul Sridhar Reddy has absolutely no legal expertise or knowledge, and neither is he capable to even take any stand on this. There was an absolute violation of Arnesh Kumar. The Supreme Court heavily came down on all of these aspects. It is in contempt of Arnesh Kumar guidelines. He was merely picked up and kidnapped, and 151 CRPC is an afterthought. That was not even included until a habeas corpus petition on the kidnap was moved. And the A1 was forcefully, the state government under the aegis of the BRS party, that is creating hell in Telangana, that has absolutely no respect for due process of the law, the court system, and the due procedures of arrest, etc., who have deliberately, vindictively arrested and detained Bandi Sanjay Ji and forcefully forced the law enforcement to implicate him as A1. Even the Honorable High Court yesterday, ma'am, when the remand was questioned, even the Honorable High Court came down heavily on the state government and the Advocate General, asking as to what is the exact allegation or averment against A1. Because the paper was leaked several hours prior, and then it was shared even to the BRS ministers and MLAs.
Yes,
the BRS party
Rachna, just stay with us, taking that same point quickly across to Mr. Reddy. Also, Mr. Reddy, for the lack of time, if you can quickly tell us the kind of evidence that the police really has against Bandi Sanjay when the case comes up in the court on Monday.
Rachna is saying I am not a legal expert. Yes, I am not a legal expert. I am a common man, but I have common sense that I should not protect criminals. I should not support criminal acts. I should not put the lives of students at stake. I have a common sense. I'm in public.
But
life
Mr. Reddy, are we calling Bandi Sanjay a criminal here even before he's been proven guilty? Are you calling him a criminal even before he's been proven guilty by the court?
It's a criminal act. I said it's a criminal act. The police booked him under a criminal conspiracy. And what do you want me to say? They say open before even the trial is completed. They say police have done wrong. Telangana government implicated him. They can go to conclusions. They are jumping guns. I am not saying that. I said the police has booked a case, it has to be tried. And today they are, talking as if he's a freedom fighter. They say a person who has a conspiracy, to spoil the lives of 10th class SSC students, 5 lakh students. Why are you not talking about them? Can you go to any level to achieve your political goals? How it can be a conspiracy? Why the 10th paper is not checked yesterday? Why only on the other 2 days? Because they were doing it. The moment we have acted, yesterday it was arrested. And they were doing for a long time. These conspiracies for political achievements, everything, whatever we do, their ultimate motive is to get power in Telangana, for which they are, this kind of political witch hunting on our leaders, doing, mal propaganda. Doing this kind of conspiracies become a regular act of BJP today. And at the same time, from central government side, they don't support the government. They stop our funds. They don't honor any of the promises.
All right, Mr. Ravula, I think we are deviating from the matter at hand here, but appreciate you speaking to us. So, Rachna Reddy of the BJP and Ravula Sridhar Reddy of the BRS speaking to Republic. Ravula Sridhar Reddy maintaining that there is a strong evidence that the police has against Bandi Sanjay. Remember, the matter is all set to be heard by the court on Monday. But for now, the update that's just coming in, Bandi Sanjay having been released from the Karimnagar jail of Telangana. So we continue to track all the latest from Telangana with the state BJP chief now having been released from the Karimnagar jail. Remember, the matter is all set to be heard by the court on Monday. For now, a quick roundup of all that's making news from across the country. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is all set to visit Uttar Pradesh's Kaushambi today, during which the Home Minister will address the Dalit Convention as part of Kaushambi Festival. The Kaushambi Festival, remember, is being organized from the 7th, which is today, till the 9th by MP Vinod Sonkar. According to sources, Amit Shah will also attend the inauguration of the festival, the conclusion of sports events and the Dalit Convention today itself. The BJP has launched a social justice week starting today on the occasion of party's Foundation Day to woo the Dalit community ahead of the birth anniversary of Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. On 14th of April, the ruling party's move comes in the run-up to the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Amid a nationwide uptrend in COVID-19 cases, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia is all set to review COVID situation in the country. Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai is going to be in Delhi and hold talks with the top brass in the BJP. According to sources, Bommai will be part of the meet where BJP is about to take a decision on candidates to be fielded for the upcoming polls in Karnataka. Meanwhile, in news from the national capital, where a massive fire broke out in a godown in Delhi's Kapashera area. According to the fire department officials, 16 fire tenders were immediately pressed into service and added that no casualties have been reported so far. JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy has said that the party's second list of candidates for the 10th of May state elections would be finalized today itself, expressing confidence about resolving the Hassan seat issue, stating that there are no problems within the party. The Congress, meanwhile, released its second list of 42 candidates, which includes expected names in this second list. Having finalized names for 166 seats, the party has kept 58 constituencies on hold and will announce its third list of candidates today. Meanwhile, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat will visit Jaipur today to inaugurate the Rashtriya Seva Sangram, a program organized by Rashtriya Seva Bharati, which is a unit of the RSS. A suspect in the Kerala train attack case who was nabbed from by the Maharashtra's anti-terrorism squad from Ratnagiri will be produced before the court today, according to police officials. The vehicles of the investigation team in which Shahrukh Saifi, the accused, was being brought, broke down twice on the journey. And we continue to track all the latest on the COVID situation in the country. Remember, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia is all set to hold a review meet in just a short while from now. But the latest update that is just coming in on the sharp uptick in cases that we are seeing across the country, with more than 6,000 cases that have been reported in last 24 hours itself. So a sharp uptick in COVID-19 cases being seen across the country, particularly in Maharashtra and the national capital. And in wake of the rising cases, the Union Health Minister would be holding a review meet in just a while from now. So that's the latest, of course, coming in. In fact, we're given to understand that this meet would be chaired by the Union Health Minister with the state health ministers and the union territories at 11 a.m. today. So roughly in about half an hour from now, the Union Health Minister would be taking stock of the COVID situation in all these states. And let's go across to Harsha as well, who's there in the national capital tracking that review meet very closely. Harsha, in a while from now, the Union Health Minister would be taking stock of the situation. But tell us, any measures that we can expect in the coming days to prevent the rising cases in the country?
Right now, Samiksha, what Health Ministry is literally watching very closely is that what's the situation in the states where there's a COVID spike. Like if we talk about Kerala, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, Uttar Pradesh, these are the states where there's a spike in COVID cases. Right now, there are more than 6,095 cases all over the country in the span of 24 hours. 4 deaths have been reported in the country till now. There's one death which has been reported from national capital, and there are more than 600 cases in national capital itself. So right now, what Health Ministry is closely monitoring is that what's the preparedness, the adequate hospital facilities, the number of vaccines, are they available or not, and what's the situation of comorbid patients, because right now what we are seeing is that hospitalization is not much. If we compare as the last year, then this variant is mutating very fast, but the hospitalization is very low, what the Health Ministry sources are telling us. But yes, Health Ministry, what they are stating is that we are prepared for all the further thing. If happens, if the COVID cases rise, then we are already prepared regarding the hospital, regarding the vaccine, regarding the manpower, regarding the oxygen concentrator and oxygen cylinders. So today there's a review meeting which will be chaired by Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia. MOS Bharti Pawar will be there. The team of INSA, COG and Entagi will also be there, along with the state health ministers, because what we are watching from past 2 weeks is that the health ministers of Chandigarh, health ministers from Punjab, health ministers from Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh and Haryana as well have done a review meeting in their own specific states to monitor the preparedness in their state of the cases. What's the spike? What's the preparedness? Hospitals are ready to look out or not if the patients admit in a huge capacity. So that's what Health Ministry is looking into. The meeting will start in a short while. So that's the major thing. But what is the major thing is that mask. Will mask be mandatory or not? It will depend on the COVID cases. If there's a spike of more than 10% in all these states, then only mask will be made mandatory. But till now, mask mandatory is not what Health Ministry is looking into. They're only looking into the preparedness of the hospital and facilities in all these states. Samiksha, back to you.
All right, Harsha, thank you for the moment. So Harsha getting us the latest on the COVID review meet, which would be chaired by the Union Health Minister in short while from now. In fact, remember, the active COVID tally stands at more than 28,000 cases, with more than 6,000 cases having been reported in the last 24 hours itself. But that's all we have for you in this edition. But lots coming up on the other side of this very short break. DMK hits out, questions Tamil Nadu governor, says show proof to prove claims on the Sterlite protests in 2018. And battle for Karnataka heats up, Bommai and team in the national capital today.
How do you see Israel helping India in combating the water crisis?
It's a major problem here in India and we have the solutions. So we are trying to work together, bringing the information, bring the technologies, bringing the excellent centers that we have here in India. And I know Prime Minister Modi deals with that a lot, and he was successful to bring dozens and dozens of millions to accessibility to water. And this is a great success. And I would like us to work more closely on that.
In regard with the paper leak issue, we have been seeing how there has been two different FIRs, one being in the Karimnagar jurisdiction and the another FIR which was filed is under Warangal jurisdiction. The legal cell of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Bandi Sanjay's team says that the manner in which Bandi Sanjay was arrested was not right, and that is a violation of the Supreme Court guidelines. On that lines, there was a quash petition which was filed in the High Court, and there's a bail petition which is filed in Warangal Court. So we'll have to wait and watch for further developments.
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow, and that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first.
A very good morning. You're watching Republic TV with me, Rakshita Mishra. But before we move on, we start with the bulletin. Ladies and gentlemen, let us tell you that India's biggest news event is back. The third edition of the Republic Summit will be held in the national capital this month. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and transformation in India will be at the Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. Now let's take a look at the headlines at this hour. In dock for SSC paper leak, Bandi Sanjay walks out of jail, alleges conspiracy by the BRS.
It was a purely foreign funded entire activities which led to the protest, unfortunate police firing.
Tamil Nadu governor sparks controversy, claims foreign link to Sterlite protests, DMK hits out. Despite court order, Aam Aadmi Party remains defiant. Sisodia writes to Prime Minister, questions his education. Battle for Karnataka heats up, Bommai and team in the national capital to talk out his strategy. India records over 6,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Health Minister to chair a review meet. Arson, violence, complete mayhem in Paris as protests over Macron's controversial bill continue to rage on. All right, we're getting in some breaking news at this point in time. A big lead in Kerala train attack probe. In a latest development, the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Kozhikode has reached the Government Medical College Hospital where accused Shahrukh Saifi is admitted. The hospital medical board examining Shahrukh Saifi is expected to give a notification on his health. Magistrate to discuss with the medical board and take decision on his remand or the police custody. That is a big development. The latest update on the Kerala train attack probe. And the chief of Kozhikode Judicial Magistrate has reached the hospital where Shahrukh Saifi is present, and he will of course undergo a medical inspection today. Remember, and my colleague Varshini is joining us live on the broadcast for more on this. Varshini, the probe, I think the important stages of the probe have just begun. We're learning that the Chief Judicial Magistrate is at the hospital, and what all will follow now, please tell our viewers.
Well, Rakshita, if you see, the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Kozhikode is the one who will be deciding upon whether, Shahrukh Saifi will be sent to judicial custody or will police be able to take over his police custody for further investigation in this matter. And yesterday it was expected that Shahrukh Saifi would be produced before the magistrate at his home, since it is a public holiday in Kerala for the Good Friday weekend. And if you see, there yesterday he was not produced because later it was announced that he has blood-related complications and possibly jaundice. Therefore, he was admitted to the Government Medical College Hospital in Kozhikode, and that is why he was not being able to be produced before a magistrate. Initially, any investigation, that too particularly an investigation where an anti-terror squad is involved, there is a 24-hour window after the arrest for the police to produce him before the magistrate, and that window has now passed because of the health conditions. Therefore, the Chief Judicial Magistrate himself is visiting the Kozhikode Government Medical College Hospital where Shahrukh Saifi is admitted, and he will be sitting with a discussion along with the medical board of the hospital. The medical board has thoroughly examined him, and they will be giving out a notification where they will say whether he will be physically okay, physically fine to be taken into police custody for investigation or not. If at all the medical board says that he was not ready for police custody, then they will be giving him a remand. He will be sent to judicial custody. Later on, when his health develops, when his health gets better, once again the police will have to go to the judicial magistrate and approach and ask for a police custody. Therefore, today it will, in some time now, in a half an hour or a 1 hour maybe, we will get to know what the medical board has decided on his health condition. Based on that, we will also get to know what kind of judgment does the judicial magistrate comes up with, and most probably in all likelihood it is to be for the judicial remand is what we are picking up from our sources. The magistrate would be giving him the next few weeks of judicial remand based, and later on based on his health condition, which if at all it improves very early, then the police will be able to take his custody. Rakshita.
Right, and also yesterday we learnt about how the accused Shahrukh Saifi has a Shaheen Bagh connect, and we've also learnt that he's a resident of Delhi's Shaheen Bagh. What more details have the police been able to gather from the investigation in Delhi so far? I think Varshini is unable to get my audio. We'll try and fix that. But meanwhile, let us tell you, viewers, that the Chief Magistrate has begun the proceedings in the Kerala train attack probe, and medical test of Shahrukh Saifi, the suspected accused Shahrukh Saifi, will be done today, and if he's deemed medically fit, he will be taken into police custody for further investigation. But that is the latest we are getting in, and you are seeing the visuals there. Chief Magistrate has reached the hospital, and Chief Judicial Magistrate is at the hospital where the medical examination of suspected accused Shahrukh Saifi will be conducted. And remember, viewers, that the probe in Kerala train incident that killed 3 people had revealed earlier Shahrukh Saifi is a resident of Delhi's Shaheen Bagh, that is in Jamia Nagar. All right, Varshini, I think we've Varshini back with us live. Varshini, I was asking to you that what all have the police gathered? We now know that he is a resident of Delhi's Shaheen Bagh in Jamia Nagar, and the police also, what we have reportedly that they spoke to the family of this accused. What other details and things that have been gathered by the police as far as this investigation is concerned up until now?
Rakshita, if you see the ATS, who is the main police here, and the ADGP of Law and Order is the one who's leading this investigation with the SIT of almost 18 members. So this SIT is trying to make sure that these kind of information is not getting leaked out, and they are being very tight-lipped about it. But in fact, when we had to try and do our own digging, we were able to find out that he is a resident of Shaheen Bagh in Delhi, and he had moved to Kerala only few days prior to the attack that had taken place. So it was a very clear matter where it was not a very previously planned attack. So we have to see from an angle where the pictures of his handwritten notes came out, and in those notes, if you see, is very clearly written about the goals that he want to achieve. Though the goals seem like very simple ones, like do yoga every day, to drink water every day, to pray every day, and to make sure his expenses are managed every day. But repetitively he keeps writing about the goals that he has to achieve in his life, and he's again and again in many pages written about how he wants to do it. He's written let's do it every other page. So this brings us to a question where where we are very confused about whether this is a code for any other goals that he had set up for himself, because he has never been to Kerala for work or studies or anything. It was just a random travel to Kerala. So was he sent to Kerala per instructions from somewhere else, are the questions that have raised around this particular train petrol attack incident, Rakshita. Therefore, the things that we are able to pick up, such as his handwritten notes, or such as the details of his background, the kind of job he did, everything, it is very, very confusing, and that is why the police is also trying to figure out a proper answer. And only when the police will be able to take him under custody, they will also be able to get a detailed statement out of his own mouth, and that is what the Kerala police is currently aiming to do. Therefore, this scenario of him being sick amidst his judicial remand and his police custody has only gotten things even more worse. Therefore, we'll have to see whether he's being sent to judicial custody, or is the police being able to take him under their custody for further investigation, Rakshita.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Varshini, for joining us with all those details and inputs on that developing story. We'll keep coming back to you for more. But right now, it's time to move on to the stories that are making headlines from across the world right now. Viewers, we start with news from Israel, where Israel carried out airstrikes in Gaza on Thursday night following a barrage of rockets that was fired from Lebanon and Gaza into Israeli territory earlier in the day. The strikes were launched on Gaza shortly after midnight local time and capped a day of escalation between Israel and armed Palestinian factions that coincides with the Passover holiday and the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The Israeli army has said that it intercepted a barrage of rockets fired from Lebanon after Israeli police attacked Palestinians inside Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque for the second night in a row. The Israeli military further informed that 34 rockets had been fired from Lebanon, with 25 intercepted and at least 4 landed in Israel. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to strike enemies on late Thursday night after a barrage of rockets from Lebanon added to already simmering tensions in the country. Israel's military said that 34 rockets had been fired across the border and that 25 were shot down by its Iron Dome aerial defense system. An interagency review led by the National Security Council of the chaotic 2021 withdrawal of US troops from Afghanistan largely lays the blame on former President Donald Trump, saying President Biden was severely constrained by the decisions of his predecessor. The White House on Thursday publicly released a 12-page summary of the results of the so-called hot wash of US policies around the ending of the nation's longest war, taking little responsibility for its own actions.
President Biden's choice was stark. either withdraw all our forces or resume fighting with the Taliban. He chose the former. But even in so doing, secured extra time to conduct that withdrawal, stretching it out to August. And that's the second point worth making. Despite having his options curtailed, President Biden led a deliberate, rigorous, and inclusive decision-making process that was responsive to facts on the ground. He focused keenly on the need for proper planning. In fact, President Biden directed his top national security leaders to begin planning for a withdrawal even before he had made the final decision to leave Afghanistan.
The International Monetary Fund chief on Thursday said that the world economy is expected to grow less than 3% in 2023, down from 3.4% last year, increasing the risk of hunger and poverty globally. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said the growth is expected to remain around 3% for the next 5 years, calling it our lowest medium-term growth forecast since 1990. Facebook parent Meta released an artificial intelligence model that can pick out the different items within the photographs. Meta's research division said that it has published a segment anything model, that is SAM, and the corresponding data set to foster research into foundation models for computer vision. The United Kingdom regulator has fined the Chinese-owned video-sharing platform TikTok almost $60 million for a number of data protecting law breaching, including misusing children's personal data. UK's Information Commissioner's office fined TikTok $15.9 million and estimated that the video-sharing platform allowed over 1 million children under 13 to use its platform in violation of its own rules in 2020. Protesters were out in force in Nantes and other cities across France on Thursday as part of another nationwide push to get French President Emmanuel Macron to scrap a pension reform bill. Though, remember that 10 previous rounds of nationwide strikes and protests since January have failed to get Macron to change course. A Paris restaurant patronized by French President Emmanuel Macron during the 2017 election, where he first won office, was damaged during a pension reform protest on Thursday. While protesters pelted projectiles at the police when they reached the restaurant, several windows were smashed and part of the venue were set on fire. According to sources, at least 20 people were detained by the police in Paris on Thursday. China and France signed a series of agreements, including civilian nuclear energy, during a state visit by President Emmanuel Macron to China. Both countries decided to deepen the cooperation in traditional areas such as aviation, aerospace, and civilian nuclear energy, and cultivate new growth drivers in cooperation such as green development and scientific and technological innovation. Time for a short break right now, but lots more on the other side. Tamil Nadu governor sparks controversy, claims foreign link to Sterlite protest. DMK hits out. Despite court order, Aam Aadmi Party remains defiant. Sisodia now writes to the Prime Minister, questions his education. Lots more on the other side. Stay tuned.
Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you, without the system approving it.
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
How do you see Israel helping India in combating the water crisis?
It's a major problem here in India, and we have the solutions. So we are trying to work together, bringing the information, bring the technologies, bringing the excellent centers that we have here in India. And I know Prime Minister Modi deals with that a lot, and he was successful to bring dozens and dozens of millions to accessibility to water. And this is a great success, and I would like us to work more closely on that.
In regard with the paper leak issue, we have been seeing how there has been two different FIRs, one being in the Karimnagar jurisdiction and the another FIR which was filed is under Warangal jurisdiction. The legal cell of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Bandi Sanjay's team says that the manner in which Bandi Sanjay was arrested was not right, and that is a violation of the Supreme Court guidelines. On that lines, there was...
All right, we're starting with some breaking news at this point in time. Amid talks that former Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, leaving the Congress, Shashi Tharoor has met Channi. He met Channi last evening at his residence in Kharar. Although there is no confirmation regarding Channi's exit from the Congress yet, there are rumors that he might join the Bharatiya Janata Party today. And amidst all these reports, we are seeing that Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has met. There are pictures that have surfaced, and my colleague Amandeep Dixit is joining us live on the broadcast. Amandeep, significant development here. We have been hearing about the talks regarding Channi's exit and whatever has transpired over the past few months, and just right before the elections, and also he was not given a ticket for the by-election. And just as we were hearing about him, possibilities of him joining the BJP, we see Tharoor has reached his house, and we see some pictures.
Well, absolutely, Rakshita. This meeting is remain out of the blue. All of a sudden, Shashi Tharoor yesterday evening landed at Channi's residence, meeting him and having certain kind of discussions. Just because from yesterday morning, the information was taking rounds that Channi might leave Congress and may join BJP. But there was no such confirmation, though Channi remained at his residence. But today itself, Channi was not at his residence. Yesterday, this meeting held, and in fact, Shashi Tharoor never came to Punjab or meeting any of the Congress leaders out of the blue. And in fact, this meeting, after this information taking rounds, all of a sudden Channi and Shashi Tharoor meeting together at his residence. And after that, Shashi Tharoor has tweeted also saying that he met former Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi and with a grateful welcome, and even having certain kind of healthy discussions, and even he has also met the entire family of Channi. But now all of a sudden, when Channi, after the Punjab Assembly elections, remain missing from the entire scene of the Congress, all of a sudden senior leadership started taking Channi into the consideration and started holding the meetings. But why? Big questions are being raised. Rakshita, the point is that uncertainty is there for the Congress party. Just because yesterday evening Channi was at his residence, but today morning we have checked, Channi has not at his residence. He has left his residence early in the morning, and we are just trying to confirm where he has left, either to Delhi or somewhere else. Just because today in the 12 noon, BJP has also announced that eminent personality is going to join BJP today itself, but they have not disclosed the name. And the apprehension is that Channi might be the possibility, but there is no, Rakshita, confirmation so far. But yes, the Congress is again in a panic situation that their own chief minister, their own selected chief minister, after Captain Amrinder Singh, he is now very much uncertain to the Congress. Yes.
Absolutely. Lots happening in the Congress camp. We see Sidhu coming back. We see Channi's exit rumors are doing the rounds. But right now we'll have to wait and watch. But thank you so much, meanwhile, Amandeep, for joining us with all those details on that story. And now we are shifting focus to France, where protesters are out in force yet again in the capital city of Paris as part of another nationwide push to get French President Emmanuel Macron to scrap his contentious pension reform bill.
Protests in France turn a violent turn after the protesters lit fire near a park in Paris. Watch how plumes of smoke from the fire engulfed the French capital as the protesters marched on. Thousands of protesters took to the street against President Emmanuel Macron's controversial pension reform. French police and protesters clashed with each other as the police fired tear gas in a bid to control the situation. The French protests come after talks between the trade union leaders and the government hit a roadblock. Macron's drive to raise the national retirement age from 62 to 64 has ignited a months-long firestorm of opposition from the French citizens. Agency report, Republic TV.
Situation is all set to take place today. Senior officials from the Ministry of Home Affairs will be taking part in this important meeting. In fact, top brass of Jammu and Kashmir Police, the CRPF, BSF, Indian Army and sister intelligence agencies to be part of the meeting. In fact, the agenda is to discuss the security scenario, and my colleague Gursimran is joining us live on the broadcast. Gursimran, this is we are learning that there's an important meeting that is coming up. What will be on the agenda for as far as this meeting is concerned?
See, Rakshita, this is going to be a very important meeting, keeping in view the G20 meeting that is going to take place in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir next month, and also the upcoming Amarnath Yatra and the prevailing security scenario. Because time and again we have seen that how Pakistan is desperately trying to foment the trouble, and that's why this crucial meeting is going to take place, in which the officials from the MHA will be chairing the meeting. We are told that the top brass of the J&K police, the DGP, ADGs from both the zones, they will be travelling to the Kashmir Valley to take part in the meeting that will take place late afternoon today. And this is going to be very crucial, keeping in view the new kind of strategy that has been adopted by the Pakistan, pushing weapons via drone and then using the localized terrorists to carry out the targeted killings in the Jammu and Kashmir. And so does the case of the Dangri terror attack, in which 7 Hindus were first picked up, they were noted by the terrorist and then brought, then killed. That was what the perpetrators are still at large. The police is trying to find them, but they are still on the run. So that is also something that will come up during the discussion, and also the prevailing situation that comes when it comes to the launching pads in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Because we have seen that how Pakistan is trying to foment trouble both in Jammu and Kashmir as well as in Punjab. So this all will come into discussion in this key meeting, but the main agendas will remain the upcoming G20 meet that is set to take place next month, and also the upcoming Amarnath Yatra. Rakshita.
All right. Thank you so much, Gursimran, for joining us with all those details and inputs on that story. But right now, viewers, it's time for a short break right now. But don't go anywhere. Lots more on the other side. In fact, Tamil Nadu's governor has sparked a controversy, claiming foreign link to the Sterlite protest. The DMK has hit out. And despite court order, the Aam Aadmi Party remains defiant. Sisodia now writes to the Prime Minister, questioning his education. Lots more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
The India developmental model is the right model which the world can follow. And that is the opportunity that we have before us.
I believe that you are soaked in the philosophy of nation first.
When we see that the masterminds, the plotters of this attack are still unpunished, they are still roaming free, what can India and Israel do together to ensure that the plotters, the mastermind of this attack are punished?
Everyone that took part of the terror attacks pays the price, a very heavy price. So we are still waiting for those who committed, those who sent, those who operated those terror attacks to be brought to justice. And indeed, we need to bring very serious pressure from all the world, from all the free world who stands against terrorism.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Mediation will work when there is uncertainty of winning by any one party. इसलिए जो judgment आया यही सबसे उत्तम है. This puts an end to the whole issue.
Assertive 1% that wants to open the wounds again. They do not operate only by the verdict of the court. Dragging back economic fugitives.
There's a mail that has been sent to you asking for help. Are you saying that there is no email? Boss, you cannot enter someone. Take me,
The biggest actions of the movements of various rank. We've killed the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister, generals of the army. These are all targeted killing.
I am willing to ask you certain questions, sir. Yeah, I have a word. I have a word. You delete everything and then I'm going to... Where is the question of recording, sir? Well, I'll show you, but why did you put your hand to my pocket? Why did you slap my phone?
Why you arrested him? Because it was a case, I believe, that was closed by the police itself. They're trying to stop us from reporting.
यहाँ पर लिखा गया है स्टैंड. इसी जगह से सचिन वाजे को बोला गया था खड़े रहने के लिए.
We are standing in the premise of a church right in the middle of Bucha. This is exactly what Ukraine is now calling a genocide that has been committed by the Russian troops.
Everybody has right to self-determine. If I say Punjab is a separate country, I have right to do it.
Well, the third edition of Republic Summit will be held in the national capital this month. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and transformation in India will be at the Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. And here's a quick look at the top headlines. In the dock for the SSC paper leak case, Bandi Sanjay walks out of jail, alleges a conspiracy by the BRS.
It was a purely foreign funded entire activities which led to the protest, unfortunate police firing.
The Tamil Nadu governor sparks a controversy, claims foreign links to Sterlite protest. The DMK hits out. Despite court order, the Aam Aadmi Party remains defiant. Sisodia writes to the Prime Minister, questions his education. Battle for Karnataka heats up. Bommai and team in the national capital to chalk out strategy. India records over 6,000 cases in the last 24 hours. The health minister will be holding a review meeting. Arson, violence, complete mayhem in Paris as protests over Macron's controversial bill continue to rage on. And the lead that we are getting in the Kerala train attack probe suggests that the chief magisterial Chief Judicial Magistrate, I beg your pardon, of Kozhikode has reached the government medical hospital where Shahrukh Saifi, the main accused in the case, is admitted. Now, Shahrukh has been remanded, of course, to 14 days of judicial custody. And that's the latest that we are getting on this. To remember that he was brought back from Maharashtra to Kozhikode yesterday, and today we are now learning that he has been remanded to 14 days of judicial custody. The main accused in this train attack case, Shahrukh Saifi, has been admitted to the hospital in Kozhikode where he is undergoing treatment, and thereafter, of course, he is going to be questioned by the police in this case. So 14 days of judicial custody has been granted by the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Kozhikode. Now, this case, of course, has essentially shocked people in the manner in which it was carried out. To remember that Shahrukh boarded this train allegedly and thereafter used petrol bombs to attack his co-passengers. Unfortunately, 3 people lost their lives in that, and thereafter about 8 were injured. The Kerala police, along with the Maharashtra ATS, successfully nabbed him from Ratnagiri in Maharashtra, where he seemed to have fled after essentially attacking people on board the train. The police in Kerala are looking at various angles in this case. One of them, of course, happens to be whether this was a terrorist attack, and if it was one, where was the conspiracy hatched? How did it go on? The other side also is that the police are looking into whether this was personal enmity. So that's what we had heard initially. But whatever the case, it's an attack that essentially shocked people of how a man could go and attack his co-passengers in a running train, leaving about 8 people injured and 3 people who died, succumbing to their injuries later. Varshini is joining us on the phone line. Varshini, we are given to understand that the police, that he's been remanded to about 14 days of judicial custody. But give us a sense of how the questioning now progresses, because he's still being treated in hospital for what appear to be injuries.
Well, Nupur, exactly the issue here is about his medical condition, and that is why currently this decision has been taken by the judicial magistrate. If you see, yesterday there has been an entire day that the police, along with Shahrukh Saifi, in the Government Medical College Hospital of Kozhikode, they have been conducting medical examination on him. And around 5 p.m. in the evening, it was known to us that he had some complication in his blood levels and there was a possibility of jaundice. Therefore, he was immediately admitted in the Government Medical College Hospital, and that is why the magistrate himself visited the hospital today to conduct an inquiry in the hospital premises itself, and finally they were able to give out this decision. He had also decided that he will be sentenced to 14-day judicial custody. The accused will he will be continued to remain under the medical treatment at the Government Medical College Hospital. That is the current scenario. He will not be sentenced to the jail, but rather he will be in the Government Medical College Hospital, where it will also be considered as the judicial custody as well.
All right. Varshini joining us with all those details. Thank you very much. So as Varshini is pointing out that even as he undergoes treatment at the hospital, he is likely to be questioned later by the police. Now, ahead of tensions that remain high in Karnataka, in the backdrop of elections that are going to be held to the State Assembly, we are told that a fight broke out between Congress and BJP workers in Yadgir. Now, even after that, tensions continue to simmer in its aftermath. Section 144 has been imposed in the Surapura constituency after 10 people were injured in these clashes between the Congress and BJP workers. Let's go across to Prajwal, who has more details. Prajwal, to begin with, give us more details of what had happened. And in the aftermath, we are given to understand that tensions are continuing to simmer.
Yes, Nupur, this incident has been happening since Wednesday, where the BJP and Congress workers are clashing with each other over an annual fair, and even the JDS workers were involved in Wednesday, but somehow the cops did get it under control. But then the Congress ticket aspirant for Surpura Assembly constituency, Raja Venkatappa Nayak, had visited a temple's annual fair, because according to the people of the village, they have made it quite clear that none of the political leaders should be coming to the annual fair, which is held at the temple DT. But then one of the Congress leaders, Raja Venkatappa Nayak, who came there at the temple DT, caused a lot of commotion where the BJP workers opposed to it, and later a clash broke out between supporters of BJP MLA from the Surpura Assembly constituency, Raju Gowda, and also between the supporters of Raja Venkatappa Nayak, who are Congress cadres as well. And in this process, over 30 vehicles were vandalized. There was stone pelting which took place, and after that they also came to blows with each other, and 10 of the people have been injured and have been admitted to the government hospital. Now an FIR has also been registered against 18 people from both the parties, and also complaint has been registered against both the leaders, that is Raju Gowda and Raja Venkatappa Nayak from the BJP and the Congress as well. Now the cops have imposed section 144 mainly to make sure that people do not gather in large groups as well, because this has happened last afternoon, but this incident broke out on Wednesday as well. So considering the entire fact and also the sensitivity of this particular constituency and how serious it is, they have imposed section 144 till tomorrow morning is what we get to understand. And as of now, the cops have taken this under complete control, and also additional forces and the Karnataka State Reserve Police battalions too have already been sent to the constituency to bring this situation under control.
All right, Prajwal reporting on this from Bengaluru. Thank you for joining us. So Prajwal, of course, is bringing us up to speed with the latest developments over there. Section 144 has been imposed in Yadgir in Karnataka. Well, after he was released from jail, we are told that Bandi Sanjay has been spoken to by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, the BJP President JP Nadda, and the Union Minister Smriti Irani. All three of them have spoken to him after he was released from jail today. The party's national leaders, including Tarun Chugh and Sunil Bansal, also spoke to the Telangana BJP chief. Now, Bandi Sanjay, of course, was arrested by the police in the paper leak case, and thereafter he was released today. There were huge crowds of BJP workers who gathered to welcome him once he was released from prison. Now, according to the police, of course, Bandi Sanjay conspired with the accused in an intention to create rumors and provoke breach of peace of the ongoing SSC public examination after images of two papers, question papers rather, surfaced on the social media. The police have also charged him with an attempt to defame the government. Let's go across to Aneri. Aneri, we are told that the senior BJP leadership has spoken to Bandi Sanjay over, what happened to him and, of course, his subsequent release.
That's right, Nupur. We have been learning that after the release of Bandi Sanjay, as Bandi Sanjay walks out of Karimnagar jail, we see that BJP National President JP Nadda, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and also Union Minister Smriti Irani has spoken to Bandi Sanjay after he walked out of jail. And also at the same time, Nupur, we have been seeing how there has been series of events which has been transpiring in the last 2 to 3 days. Well, first comes the arrest of Bandi Sanjay from his residence late night, and then after which he was produced before the magistrate in Hanamkonda, where he was sent to 14 days of judicial custody. But however, after the BJP council moved and bail petition in the court, he was granted bail after almost 8 hours of arguments between the petitioner and the BJP council. So now, after all of that, we see that Bandi Sanjay was granted bail with few of the conditions. And now, as Bandi Sanjay walks out of Karimnagar jail this morning, we see that Union Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP National President JP Nadda, and also Smriti Irani has spoken to Bandi Sanjay over all of this issue which has transpired. And also, Nupur, not to forget, the day when Bandi Sanjay was arrested, JP Nadda had also taken stock of situation. He had spoken to the senior BJP leader Ramchandra Rao on that day, on Wednesday as well, over whatever has happened in connection with the arrest of Bandi Sanjay in the SSC paper leak case. Well, Nupur, not to forget, Bandi Sanjay is named as accused number 1 in the remand copy over this paper leak issue. So definitely the investigation will further be carried out by the police officials, and also we have been seeing how there has been a quash petition which has been filed by the BJP council in the Telangana High Court. But however, that will be heard on Monday, so we'll have to wait for that. But as of now, the new development where we see that the senior BJP leaders, including Amit Shah, JP Nadda and Smriti Irani, has spoken to Bandi Sanjay.
Now, even as this happens, Aneri, the focus remains on the Prime Minister's visit that takes place today, where he's set to essentially flag off one of the Vande Bharat trains, apart from, of course, the infrastructure projects that he's going to be inaugurating. Bandi Sanjay closely involved with that as well today?
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to visit Hyderabad tomorrow, that is on 8th of April, where he will be...
Right, stay with us, Aneri. I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I'm going to come back to you. Joining us on the phone line is Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao from the BJP. Mr. Rao, good morning. Mr. Rao, one of the things that the BJP has been saying is that they feel that this entire case against Bandi Sanjay has been politically motivated. But the BRS says that they see it as a larger conspiracy to cause trouble in Telangana. How do you see the incident?
No, this is a political conspiracy by KCR. He is adopting the WB model, the West Bengal Mamta model, to attack the opposition, stymie it and chop it at the waist level, by using police as a political instrument. So the arrests and the spurious cases, all these are a part of the model. So we are not worried, we are not scared. We are going to fight, and in 6 months we're going to have an election coming up, the state elections, and the people of the state will give the response, a right response for Telangana's current politics and its deviant methods of silencing opposition.
Right now, how do you see the timing of it, given the fact, that the Prime Minister will be there tomorrow, that he's going to be launching several of those projects that we've been talking about? It's about 11,000 crores in terms of, the size of these projects. So do you see something significant in the timing of it?
I don't think timing is it. Modi is coming for inaugural of governmental projects. It's not a political tour. So this is not about timing. This is about the elections which are coming up, and he wants stymie the rise of the party. So this is a larger conspiracy.
All right. Mr. Rao, that's a very poor audio connection that we have with you. Your voice keeps dropping, but nevertheless, thank you very much for joining us. And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. The Central Election Committee of the BJP may be holding a meeting at the party's office on the 9th of April for finalizing candidates for the Karnataka Assembly elections. Now, according to party sources, Prime Minister Modi, the BJP's National President JP Nadda, the Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, the BJP's General Secretary BL Sandosh and members of the party's Election Commission will be present. On the occasion of the World Health Day, the Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia and the MOS Health Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar will take part in a walkathon that begins at Vijay Chowk. Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami inaugurated a health ATM installed at JK Tyres Limited Company in association with Yes Bank with its corporate social responsibility at the Secretariat on Thursday. Apart from the health ATM at Sachivalaya Dispensary, 2 more were opened at the Vidhan Sabha Dispensary and the Tanakpur Hospital. The alleged conman Kiran Patel, who was arrested in Jammu and Kashmir for posing as a senior PMO official, was Thursday handed over to the Gujarat police. According to officials, the Gujarat police had sought his custody, which was granted by court of the Chief Judicial Magistrate in Srinagar. Madhya Pradesh's Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has lashed out at the Congress leader Kamal Nath over the latter's remarks while attending an iftar party in the state. The Chief Minister called Nath's remarks cheap in an attempt to polarize voters in the state. Madhya Pradesh Congress Chief also attended an iftar party in Chhindwara district on Wednesday. Suspended BJP MLA T. Raja Singh Thursday was taken into preventive custody by the police while proceeding to take out a Hanuman Jayanti procession in the city and later let off. According to the police, Raja Singh was detained considering the allegedly provocative speeches made by him in the past. Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi's comments that he had the discretion to withhold bills passed in the state legislature came under fire from the DMK government. Responding to the governor's comments, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin Thursday said that Ravi could not keep the bills in abeyance. BJP's General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya Thursday alleged that TMC is sponsoring communal clashes during Ram Navami celebrations in West Bengal. Srinagar police have arrested 2 cross-border narcos smugglers Thursday and recovered 11.8 kgs of heroin, which is worth about 70 crores. According to the ADGP of the area, the accused have been identified as Sajjad Badana and Zahir Tanj. The drugs allegedly came from Pakistan. British and Irish diplomats have met Goa's Chief Minister Pramod Sawant to express concern about the slow pace of the trial in the 2017 rape and murder case of the British-Irish national Daniel McLoughlin. McLoughlin was allegedly raped and murdered in Kanakona in Goa in March 2017. A local man was arrested in the case and the trial currently is ongoing. We are now cutting across to pictures that we are getting from Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. This appears to be a deadly attack on a BJP leader's son. The assailants hurled 2 bombs at the car of the leader's son. Republic, of course, has access CCTV footage of this. So there you can see it. These two appear to be at least 2 people on 2 bikes essentially hurled this bomb. And we are told that the BJP leader's son's vehicle was attacked. We're going to try and play out those pictures for you again. So there you see it's a parked vehicle on which a two-wheeler on which 2 men seem to be sitting. One of them hurls this what appears to be a bomb at the vehicle. So the BJP leader's son has been attacked. We don't know yet, since we are still awaiting information on whether the son was injured and how critical the injuries are. Let's go across to Vivek Rai for all those details. Vivek, give us more details into what happened.
मैं आपको बताऊं कि ये भाजपा नेत्री का जो बेटा है उसकी गाड़ी पर कल 6 युवकों ने बमबाजी की है। आपको बताऊं कि प्रयागराज का ये मामला है और जिन शख्स के ऊपर आरोप लगा है उसमें एक शख्स जो है वो जो आरोपी है वो कौशाम्बी में एक कांस्टेबल तैनात है शिव बचन यादव, उनका बेटा शिवम यादव है, जिसका कुछ दिनों पहले जो महिला नेत्री है उनके बेटे से विवाद हुआ था, जिस विवाद को लेकर के बाद में फैमिली वालों ने उनसे माफी भी मांगी थी। लेकिन उसके बाद कल जानलेवा हमला इस भाजपा नेता के बेटे की गाड़ी पर हुआ है। आपको बताऊं कि ये जो पूरी की पूरी घटना है ये सफारी कार के अंदर जो महिला थी वो बैठी थी, उसका बेटा और उसके दोस्त बैठे थे जिस दौरान ये घटना हुई है। झोसी इलाका है प्रयागराज का, वहां पर ये आवास विकास कॉलोनी की घटना है और जो महिला नेता है विजयलक्ष्मी चंदेल वो बीजेपी की जिला मंत्री हैं और उनके बेटे की गाड़ी पर ये पूरा का पूरा जो हमला है वो हुआ है। और आपको बताऊं कि ये अगर इसको लेकर के उन्होंने पुलिस में FIR दर्ज कराई है और पुलिस फिलहाल इस पूरे मामले की अभी जो जांच है वो आगे और उसको बढ़ा रही है। और कल शाम तकरीबन 8 बजे का ये पूरा का पूरा मसला है, जब सफारी से जो युवक है वो जा रहा था और उसके पीछे 2 बाइक्स पर 6 युवक सवार होकर के आए जिन्होंने बमबाजी की ये घटना की। हालांकि कोई हताहत नहीं हुआ है और पुलिस फिलहाल इस पूरे प्रकरण की अभी जांच कर रही है।
So what we understand of this, Vivek, is there have been no injuries reported. But, you know, in these pictures, there also appears to be a woman who collides with the vehicle. Can you give us more clarity?
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए गाड़ियों पर बमबारी हुई है, लेकिन जो लोग अंदर सवार थे वो फिलहाल सेफ है, उनको किसी भी तरीके की कोई चोट नहीं आई है। लेकिन घटना पूरी तरीके से जो की गई थी वो कहीं ना कहीं नुकसान पहुंचाने के नजरिए से की गई थी, जान से मारने के नजरिए से की गई थी। इसी को लेकर के पुलिस में जो भाजपा नेत्री हैं विजयलक्ष्मी, उन्होंने FIR भी कराई है और पुलिस इस पर आगे जांच कर रही है। दो बच्चों के बीच में तकरीबन 20-22 साल के ये लड़के हैं, इनके बीच में तकरीबन एक दिन पहले का ये विवाद हुआ था, जिसके बाद ये पूरी की पूरी घटना हुई। हालांकि विवाद के बाद जो भाजपा नेत्री हैं उन्होंने जो दूसरा शख्स है उसके परिवार से जाकर के माफी भी मांगी थी, लेकिन उसके बाद कहीं ना कहीं उस माफी मांगने के बावजूद जो दोनों गुटों के बीच की लड़ाई थी वो शांत नहीं हुई और कल इस लड़के को डराने धमकाने के नजरिए से, उसको मारने के नजरिए से ये बमबाजी की घटना कारित की गई।
All right, Vivek, thank you for the moment. Let's also go across to Lomas, who's reporting from Prayagraj on this. Lomas, can you give us more details on this incident and also the police action that has followed?
बिल्कुल, मैं आपको बता दूं कि बीजेपी के नेता हैं जो उनके बेटे हैं, उन पे ये बमबाजी की गई थी और साथ में ये घटना बताया जा रहा है कि कल की है। जिस तरीके से ये CCTV फुटेज निकल के सामने आया है तो कहीं ना कहीं ये काफ़ी दर्दनाक घटना है। जिस तरीके से अपराधियों ने बमबाजी की है, उसके बाद जैसे ये CCTV फुटेज सोशल मीडिया पे वायरल हो रहा है, उसके बाद जो पुलिस है वो हरकत में आ चुकी है। लगातार ही उन अपराधियों को तलाश किया जा रहा है कि किन वजहों से इस तरह का हमला खुलेआम किया गया और ये कौन सा अपराधी है और क्या मामला है जिसके कारण ये हमलावर निकल करके सामने आए और बमबाजी करते हुए दिख रहे हैं। लगातार ही पुलिस CCTV खंगालने का काम कर रही है और साथ ही फॉरेंसिक की टीम मौके वारदात पे पहुंच चुकी है।
All right, Lomas, of course, bringing us those details. Thank you for joining us. So we are told that the police are investigating this case further. Well, Juventus was given a partial stadium ban for its next home game in the Italian Cup after some of its supporters directed a racist chant at the Inter Milan striker Romelu Lukaku. Inter Milan striker Romelu Lukaku was racially abused during Tuesday night's Coppa Italia semi-final first leg. The Belgian was sent off for celebrations in front of home fans after scoring a penalty.
Juventus is facing a one-game partial stadium ban after some of the club's fans hurled racist abuses at Inter Milan's Romelu Lukaku. The Belgian forward has shown a second yellow card for his celebrations in front of the home fans after converting a stoppage time penalty to earn Inter a draw in Turin in Tuesday night's Coppa Italia semi-finals first leg. A chaotic end to Allianz Stadium encounter ensued. A scuffle broke out between the two sets of players, resulting in Inter captain Samir and UV midfielder Juan Cuadrado being sent off after the final whistle. Juventus say that they're collaborating with the police to identify those responsible for the racist abuse, but for now, the club faces a partial ban. Agency report, Republic TV.
राज्य के नाते अलग है, लेकिन कर्नाटक कन्नड़ भाषी प्रांत, तेलुगु भाषी प्रांत, मलयालम भाषी और तमिल भाषी, केवल आध्यात्मिक क्षेत्र के हमारे आचार्य, मुनि, सन्यासी, भिक्षु सब मिला के जो सेवा करते।
आप सभी देश के जन जन तक सही सूचनाएं पहुंचाने में अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। जब नेशन फर्स्ट होता है तब हमारे संकल्प भी बड़े होते हैं और उनको सिद्ध करने के प्रयास भी व्यापक होते हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमने भी ठान लिया है, हमारा रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क भी अपने कदम और भी तेज करेगा।
How do you see Israel helping India in combating the water crisis?
It's a major problem here in India, and we have the solutions. So we are trying to work together, bringing the information, bring the technologies, bringing the excellent centers that we have here in India. And I know Prime Minister Modi deals with that a lot, and he was successful to bring dozens and dozens of millions to accessibility to water. And this is a great success, and I would like us to work more closely on that.
In regard with the paper leak issue, we have been seeing how there has been two different FIRs, one being in the Karimnagar jurisdiction and the another FIR which was filed is under Warangal jurisdiction. The legal cell of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Bandi Sanjay's team says that the manner in which Bandi Sanjay was arrested was not right, and that is a violation of the Supreme Court guidelines. On that lines, there was a quash petition which was filed in the High Court, and there's a bail petition which is filed in Warangal Court. So we'll have to wait and watch for further developments.
Very good morning. It's 11:30. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Now, India's biggest event is back. The third edition of Republic Summit will now be held in the national capital this month itself. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and the transformation in India will be at the Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. We begin first with the top headlines at 11:30. In dock for SSC paper leak, Bandi Sanjay walks out of jail, alleges conspiracy by the BRS.
It was a purely foreign funded entire activities which led to the protest, unfortunate police firing.
Tamil Nadu governor sparks controversy, claims foreign link to Sterlite protest, DMK hits out. And in more news, despite court order, AAP remains defiant. Sisodia writes to Prime Minister, questions his education. Battle for Karnataka heats up. Bommai and team in the national capital to chalk out strategy. India records more than 6,000 cases in the last 24 hours alone. Health Minister chairs review meet. Arson, violence, complete mayhem in Paris as protests over Macron's controversial bill continues to rage on. And we begin with newsbreak that's just coming in from Maharashtra. This one in relation to the action that's been initiated against former cabinet minister in Maharashtra, Aslam Sheikh, who's now facing demolition of the illegal construction that he has. It's his illegal studios that we understand is being demolished by the BMC after the orders of the Maharashtra government. So it's the BMC and which is the Mumbai civic body and the district magistrate that have been ordered to take the strict action against the illegal construction of the former Maharashtra minister Aslam Sheikh. These are the visuals also coming in of the bulldozer action on the Congress leader Aslam Sheikh, who was a Mahavikas Aghadi minister. His illegal studio, as we speak, is being razed by the officials upon the orders of the Maharashtra governor. Let's go across to Sandeep, who's joining us live. Sandeep, what do we know about the action that's been initiated, and what exactly is the reason for what has been ordered by the Maharashtra government in this regard?
See, as far as this case is concerned, Kirit Somaiya, the BJP leader, had filed a complaint to Environment Ministry of Maharashtra claiming that the studios made by and operated by Aslam Sheikh and his associates are illegal at Malad Marve. In 2019, there was nothing on the Malad Marve coastal area, and in fact, that studio was raised in 2021, and in fact, which violated the norms of coastal regulatory zone. Following which a complaint was in fact filed by Kirit Somaiya, and Environment Ministry of Maharashtra had ordered BMC and the district magistrate to take actions over this studio. In fact, as far as the property cost is concerned, it cost around 1,000 crore. That is what we've been told, and in fact, after the ministry's order, now the BMC and in fact the local authorities seems to get in action, and in fact the demolition drive by BMC is underway. In fact, remember, it is a huge loss for Congress party leader and ex-minister Aslam Sheikh. Remember, this studios were
brings
built,
us to another crucial question here. This property, which you say is valued at crores of rupees, any statement that has been given by the Congress leader so far as to how did he even get the clearance for the construction of this property in this first place?
So far, nothing has been uttered by Aslam Sheikh, the ex-cabinet minister. But after the complaint was filed by Kirit Somaiya, and in fact the order was issued, Aslam Sheikh had in fact met the Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis.
Hold your thoughts. I'm sorry, I'll have to interrupt you there, Sandeep. Let's go across to Atul Bhatkalkar of the BJP from Maharashtra joining us. Mr. Bhatkalkar, the question here arising as to how did this Congress leader even get that clearance by the authorities to construct that studio in this particular place, which we understand is valued at crores of rupees?
No, basically it was raised by me in the assembly session last session before, and now that time government appointed committee, and committee prima facie stated that these are clear-cut illegal studios, and it is a good thing that finally NGT court also refused to give stay when this all resort and studio owners went to NGT. And now today BMC is demolishing all these studios, but we will not stop only on this, that once it is demolished. Who permitted this?
Yes.
Who asked officers at that time to neglect the illegal construction? Under whose guise and under whose blessings so many studios constantly violating the CRZ norm, DCR, took place, whether local MLA Aslam Sheikh and that time suburban collector, guardian minister Aditya Thackeray, anyway connected with this all illegal constructed studios, that has to be investigated. That is our demand, and in coming assembly session in July, definitely I will raise this issue and ask government to investigate from this angle also.
So Mr. Bhatkalkar, are you saying that there could be more of these illegal constructions, buildings that were constructed at the time of Mahavikas Aghadi government in Maharashtra?
Absolutely. There is no two opinion about that. Aditya Thackeray visited MTDC site with supports to make sports activities, but instead of that, MTDC allowed studio constructor to dump their debris there, and so that there is a nexus in all these things, and that nexus should be unearthed. That is our demand.
All right, Mr. Bhatkalkar, appreciate you speaking to us. So that's, of course, the latest coming in. The visuals are on your screens of the illegal construction, the property belonging to Congress leader Aslam Sheikh, whose property is being raised as we speak. Let's go across to BJP's Ram Kadam also. Mr. Kadam, your first reaction to this action that's happening right now, because this brings us to an important question, that who exactly allowed the construction to happen in the first place?
See, there are two important things.
If is there any illegal construction, then it has to be demolished, no matter who belongs to it. But we have to demolish such kind of a structure. So BMC has been taking action, and our senior leader, Mr. Kirit Somaiya, has given many documentary proofs. So that's the reason why BMC has been taking action against those structures.
All right. Thank you for speaking.
If at all there is a violation of CRZ rule, there is a violation of BMC rule, then what is expected? Just because of somebody is a tall politician, the BMC will not wait for that. They will take their action, and they have been taking it.
But Mr. Kadam, why do you think that no action was initiated against this Congress leader, who we understand was also minister at the time of Maha Vikas Aghadi government when this government was in power in the state?
See, the person is from which party, that is paramount, that is important. Or if the structure is illegal, no matters who belongs to it, it should be demolished. What is important? So the authorities have been taking their routine action.
Yes.
But the only question is, any of the political leader, if somebody is an ex-minister, they should have not indulged into it. Because they are the figures to whom the whole society have been following them. So they should not indulge into the illegal constructions, and the BMC will take action whichever the illegal constructions are there.
Well, absolutely, Ram Kadam, thank you for speaking to us. So Ram Kadam there maintaining a very strong point that irrespective of the party lines, an illegal construction in the state of Maharashtra would be raised whatsoever. In fact, a reaction that's also come in from Kirit Somaiya, who is also present at this site where the raising of the Congress leader's property is happening as we speak. Listen in.
उद्धव ठाकरे सरकार के भ्रष्टाचार का स्मारक ददन भर या अनधिकृत स्टूडियो समंदर की जमीन पर CRZ नो डेवलपमेंट जोन में ये बनाए गए 100 फुट ऊंचे लगभग 5 लाख स्क्वायर फीट का बांधकाम है। इसका 1000 करोड़ का सालाना लगभग 100 करोड़ की आमदनी। स्वयं असलम शेख जो कांग्रेस के मंत्री